For today's cooking show, we'll be making American favorites from the Civil War period.
Please enjoy this brief historical background information to make your food more enjoyable.
During the Civil War, freed slaves and women cooked on open hearths outside for the Union and Confederate soldiers. They used a lot of spices, some of them including cinnamon, salt, and pepper. Because of the large demand for food within both the Union and the Confederate Army, the prices of food went sky high. The South, which had originally been growing cotton, started to raise grain and livestock to help the economy. The Union soldiers, desperate to get food, would raid the southern plantations for their food and take the food away from the farmers and the people who deserved it.
The soldiers' diet in the Civil War has been known as poor, and a number of illnesses and disorders have been associated with it. However, nutritional analysis placed within the context of mid-19th century American nutrition has been lacking. Such an approach makes clear the connection between illness and diet during the war for the average soldier and defines the importance of nutrition's role in the war. It also provides a bridge from the American diet to the soldier diet, outlining correlations between the two and examining the influence of physicians, chemists, and health reformers on the Civil War diet. During the Civil War, rations for the Union troops were ample. Some foods were not, however, available in the field. Even when full rations were provided, they were not nutritious or appetizing. A diet of hardtack, salt meat, and no vegetables quickly leads to scurvy. Food prices in the South rose starting in the summer of 1861, and there were food shortages from 1862 onward, especially in towns and near the front lines. It became increasingly harder for farmers to find enough laborers to plant and harvest the crops, and harder to transport food in the Civil War to where it was needed. Some finally ran out of fresh milk, and the cow aged and was irreplaceable. However, diet of cornbread, sorghum, and field peas lead to deficiency-related diseases such as pellagra and communicable disease epidemics due to weakened immune systems.
In 1827, Sarah Joseph Hall launched a campaign to make Thanksgiving a national holiday. Abe Lincoln, in 1863, 36 years later, heeded her requests, making the last Thursday of November a national holiday, Thanksgiving. The first national annual Thanksgiving of 1863 was not officially observed by the United States military. Providing a special Thanksgiving dinner for the troops was beyond the capabilities of the government. Individual units, however, particularly those with New England roots, would find their own unofficial ways to celebrate the day. Special dinners were organized, and toasts to absent families and friends were drunk.
Thanksgiving in 1864 did not go similarly unrecognized. The Union League Club of New York City launched a public campaign to provide Thanksgiving dinner for Union soldiers and sailors. Its response was overwhelming. In 3 weeks, the club collected over $57,000 towards the purchase of 146,586 pounds of poultry. Donations of an additional 225,000 pounds of poultry were received, along with an enormous quantity of other meat, cakes, gingerbread, pickles, apples, vegetables, cheese, and mince pies.
We'll rally round the flag, boys, rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. We'll rally from the hillside, we'll gather from the plains, shouting the battle cry of freedom.
My name is Natasha.
I'm Simone.
And this is our cooking show! I haven't made mine yet. We have fried apples, which are apples that we aren't actually technically going to fry, but we're technically going to fry them. We're going to put them in butter, basically. And then we're going to have something called hardtack, which is kind of like a cookie and a cracker, and it tastes really bad, so don't eat it. Idiot's Light, which is really easy for idiots to make, such as myself. So, I can, yep.
Okay. So, after we've washed our apples, step 2 is to cut them into 12 to 15 even but narrow wedges.
Now that we've cut up all the apples, we are going to
Melt some butter in our skillet.
Our beautiful skillet looks like that. Kind of like this and such and the
It's
other.
like a skillet.
Yep.
Or you
pretty
can,
nice
always,
right
you
there.
can always do a cast iron skillet too.
Yeah, so you need a skillet. You're gonna melt the butter in this skillet, and once your butter is melted, you will put the apples inside, and then you will cover it.
And let it sit for 5 minutes. But then we'll give you a checkup after that.
And we'll show you along the way, but this is just a brief overview before that happens. So,
Butter. How much
Butter
butter
in a
is this?
skillet.
This is 4 tablespoons of butter, by the way.
okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna dump the apples in there.
Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
And we're gonna time it. So right now it is 3:39, and we're gonna wait 5 minutes. So we're gonna change the heat to medium low. It's already there, and we're gonna cover it. So it's been 5 minutes, and now we are pouring in half a teaspoon of nutmeg and a cup of brown sugar. We're gonna stir continuously. So as you can see, the apples are already falling apart before they're getting caramelized. And this, as you can tell, the brown sugar is caramelizing pretty much as soon as it's hitting the butter, which is nice, but it's really thick, almost molassesy. Thankfully, not actually molasses though. So, and the next step in this process, after stirring, we're gonna cover it back for 10 to 12 more minutes until apples are tender. And then we're gonna check every few minutes.
Apples are super tender.
And we're gonna check every few minutes while cooking, and we're gonna add additional butter or water if needed to prevent the apples from sticking.
Well, so we're done. Obviously these apples are super tender. Check that out. Like, the apples aren't even like staying together.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, we'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah, hurrah. The men will cheer, the boys will shout, the ladies, they will all turn out, and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The old church bells will reel with joy, hurrah, hurrah. We'll welcome home our darling boy, hurrah, hurrah.
There's nothing in there.
I can do it like this. I'm just gonna go in it.
Oh, I was gonna pour it.
Oh, no.
So that's about a cup. Right there.
Okay, here, try this. How about we do...
That's good. It's pretty nice and even. You can't see
You
it.
can't see it at all.
Because
but
it's
that's
white. Okay, sorry, that made no sense.
This cup, wait, is this 2/3 cup? Cup, is this a cup? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look, cups.
Of a water. Oh shoot, it was 2/3? I thought you said 2/3.
It's no 1 2/3.
Oh, I thought it was just 2/3, and I was like, it's not. Okay, there's also flour on your boob. I accidentally put it there. My bad. Okay. And
And we
salt?
also need the 1 tablespoon. Dude, that's a lot of salt.
tablespoon or is it teaspoon?
TB salt. Table.
Ooh, goodness. I'm not eating none of this.
Delicious. Almost as good as those tart apples.
Yeah. Okay.
Just always know you can put more in, but you can't put them back.
That's fine.
See, look. Oh, you can't see it because I poured it in.
When the blackbird in the spring.
And we're back with the amazing Simone Natasha cooking show. So, Simone's getting ready to put it in the oven.
Follow me. Don't try this at home. We're experts, so we don't need oven mitts. Let's say hi to it. Hi. Hi. So you want to set your timer to 25 minutes. And voila. Since we're done, it's been 25 minutes, and we are going to put on our mittens, and we're going to take out our delicious rock. So, this is how it came out. Sure did. And we're gonna just sit it over here. Careful. Remember that this is hot, and so is the ovens.
Just before the battle, mother, I'm thinking most of you. While upon the field we're watching, with the enemy in view.
Okay, so now we're going to be baking the
Idiot's Delight.
yes, and that's gonna be kind of like a cookie-ish thing. I'm guessing.
Kind of.
Didn't really give a description.
We'll pretend. That's our prediction.
Yeah, our prediction is it's like it's a cookie. I mean, it's a delight, right? So maybe it's just a delight to cook it. Anyway, so there are two, I guess, stages to this process. One is we are going to be making like a sauce that'll go over the cookies or over the batter before we bake it. And the other thing that we're going to be making is the batter.
So we're gonna pour the batter over the little cookies that we make, and then we're gonna put it in the oven at 360, and we're gonna bake it until it's golden brown. Then we're gonna take it out and show you.
Yeah, so spoonful gloves and you just kind of put them in there.
I knew that we had too much fun.
It's supposed to be one giant thing or multiple different ones, right? Okay.
Yum! Put those raisins in there. Is it supposed to happen like that?
Okay. So you can smell the cinnamon. Oh, by the way, we added cinnamon in there. We
About half of a tablespoon. Half a teaspoon. Teaspoon.
Sitting by the roadside on a summer's day, chatting with my messmates, passing time away. Lying in the shadows underneath the trees, goodness how delicious, eating goober peas.